Okay, well now we get to the exciting part of the morning, which is actually to hear from our delegates. So I'd like to invite to the front of the room the business case group that worked on sustainable tourism. Thank you.
Is tourism sustainable? Sustainable or non-sustainable? How do we tell the difference? Sustainable tourism is the development that brings a positive experience for local people, tourists, and companies, with a key factor on having a low impact on the environment. Basically, sustainability is about meeting the needs of today without negatively impacting on the needs of tomorrow. Non-sustainable tourism is the depletion of the environment through the industry of the tourism. The four aspects of sustainable tourism are cultural, economic, social, and environmental. A quote that really inspired me to rethink is a quote from Sir Peter Blake as follows: "We want to restart people, caring for the environment as it must be cared for, and we want to do this through adventure, through participation, through education and enjoyment."
Is tourism sustainable, and how do we know? This is one of the questions that we have been thinking deeply about this week. Throughout the week, we have experienced many recreational activities that have had a huge impact on our knowledge and passion for the environment and our ideas about sustainable tourism. We've been empowered to make a difference in the environment and community. We travelled to Goat Island Marine Reserve and have experienced the abundance of wildlife that lies beneath the water, and we learned so much about them. We soon realised, after being there a short time, even our trip had an impact on the environment. Heavy tourism traffic in the area can disturb sediments, degrade water quality with sunscreen, and then there's the physical damage caused by the flippers in the water. These may seem like very simple things, but if there's only one person, but if 350,000 tourists visiting the reserve yearly, this is not the case. That is why we need to protect our resources so that they're still available for the future. We want these resources to be sustained.
We also visited the Tawharanui Regional Park, where they are providing information on the New Zealand environment and thus allowing tourists to have a connection with a piece of New Zealand heritage. The Tawharanui Regional Park Group educates people on their means of pest control and how communities can band together to look after and conserve native bush and animals. While visiting the regional park, we learnt that how a problem has to be thought over and analysed to ultimately provide an adequate solution. A problem cannot be solved overnight, but with some thought and dedication, we can provide solutions that can help conserve our natural environment so people can enjoy it for many years to come. A great example of this thought and analysis by the people of Tawharanui Regional Park is the thought gone into the pest prevention fence erected around the park, and how different features of this fence provide different prevention methods to keep pests out. I feel we can learn from their solution and ingenuity when combating a problem.
Another question sustainable tourism posed was how can tourism activity contribute to the environment? The Auckland Zoo is a prime example of how tourism can contribute to the environment, because it educates people and gets them pumped about the environment and the animals by looking at their habitats and behaviour. We also, on our trip to the zoo, learnt about the effects of palm oil production on rainforests, our food, and as a result, we are now able to go out and make informed consumer decisions, and spread the message about the negative effects of palm oil, including the loss of natural habitats for the wildlife. Our group, Sustainable Tourism, came up with an essential concept which summarised our key questions, consisting of: is tourism sustainable, and does tourism have a good impact on conservation? Leading to one word: PI. Positive impact on the environment. Our tourists need to leave New Zealand satisfied and having made a positive impact on the environment, and it is our responsibility that we maintain and execute this concept. We need tourists to leave behind PI, positive impact on the environment.
So after looking at what we have done so far and what we think about the issues faced, we felt that perhaps we, as youth, need to get some of those brilliant ideas that are in our heads out there. Where deforestation, destruction and devastation is increasingly experienced in New Zealand lands, we need something that stops this, something through which we can make our fellow Kiwis aware of the things going on in our beautiful country. But not only New Zealanders, but also Māori. The connection between Māori and the land is an experience in itself. A whakatauki, or saying, is toi te kupu, toi te mana, toi te whenua. It is plea to hold fast to our culture, for without language, without mana or spirit, and without land, the essence of being who we are is lost. Bringing together both cultures created a new kind of experience and understanding of our culture and our world. What we came up with was a plantation idea called Leaving Trees, where not only New Zealanders but also international tourists can get involved. What this project involved was people coming through tourist hotspots and helping improve our clean green image. All they need to do is buy a tree or native plant from the gardener and plant it in an allocated area. It is as simple as that. Not only does this help us get involved with our environment, it allows us to see the potential this country has to lead the world in counteracting environmental issues, allows them to become part of the clean green image and take pride in it. This idea only took a few minutes and a few students putting their thoughts together. What if you could do that too? How far could we go? Just imagine.
So, we've heard about what has happened, we've heard about what could happen, so now we have to take control of what will happen. Is tourism sustainable? Is tourism a good thing for conservation? How can tourism actively contribute to the environment? Throughout our presentation, we have explained and elaborated on our viewpoints and our answers as youth who, throughout this week, have experienced and understood these issues. A quote that made a special impact for us this week was one from Sir Peter Blake himself. We want to restart people caring for the environment, as it must be cared for. And we want to do this through adventure, through participation, through education, and through enjoyment. And we've had a lot of that this week. We need to show the world the beauty of our country, New Zealand. And it is us, the next generation, who hold the responsibility of doing so. Sir Peter Blake said, having vision is not enough. Change comes through realising true vision and turning that into reality. Hey everyone!
Share the pie!